Sports. I wouldn't be surprised to see if they try something pretty fun here, but I'm looking forward to see how this one goes. Now, with that said, we're getting right into it, and look at how things are starting here. Very, very interesting. The initial bans, by the way, it was Tremble, Magnus, Warbeast, and Midas, actually, banned out. But Doctor pulls the first pick, but a Moira instant response from Insania. So, hey, this hero, she is good against Doctor, so...
Definitely. I mean, we talk about it all the time, how Moira is a great hero, but against Doctor she becomes so much better. So and that's the weakness, honestly, of Dr. Pulse. The first pick is definitely open to counters such as this. I mean, obviously, Swindle Melons has talked about before. That's why we didn't really see a lot of Doctor first pick. Bubble was another good hero against Dr. Pulse because obviously the silence. So, yeah. Insane, obviously, just on top of the drafting.
Comfortable with what they're doing here, clearly. Yeah, definitely addressing the Doctor. Now, again, Swiftblade response. Seems like Swiftblade Doctor, a combo that we see often as far as carry potentials, and Nullstone going to stick with that here. So, running that power comp. But, yeah, clearly, though, Sync Esports making a point of how they're going to address it with the Moira and the Bubbles so far. Still plenty to go, but that is obviously a strong start. And, again, I just love seeing this Moira hero played, especially in good hands. And Sania more than likely will end up with it. Again, the suicide potential is there, but I just feel like with Sync, they have run it with Insania before a couple times, and they'll probably keep it to that. So back over to Nullstone Gaming now, and thinking about who they want to get their third pick in as. Already having a couple of the carry options, of course, so see what direction they go, and then that follows into the bans. But, yeah, so got to be feeling pretty good, though, especially if you're Nullstone Gaming, knowing that that things are already pretty much good to go for you. It's, again, seeding is still important, but at least advancing on to the next round, that's the start there. And again, it's top 3 pays out, actually. So, if you move on to the next round, you're pretty much not guaranteed yet, but 3 of the 4 teams that are in the next round will get paid out as far as that $3,000 prize pool goes. So there's even a little bit something extra there. So. They go with Rhapsody, though, as a support option.
Yeah, not a big fan of it. Bubble's actually one of the best heroes against Rhapsody because he has 2 great stops for the Protected Melody. Obviously, he's going to be picking up Portal Key as well, so Rhapsody's real effectiveness is kind of reduced because of that in general. So, yeah, I'm surprised they picked up Rhapsody, really. Like, there's a couple of other supports that are pretty useful against Bubbles, but Rhapsody isn't really one of them, to be fair. So.
Yeah.
I mean, the Sakai is pretty good, but outside of that, it's just not that good. Pick up Parasite, though.
Yeah, Zlap's going to get his hands on Parasite here, and again, a fantastic hero for him. Now, they go Parasite over Ophelia, and that's kind of the thing for me, where you look at the two and, kind of trying to think of logic as to why they may have done that.
Well, I mean, you got to think about who they're playing against. Obviously, they couldn't get the Rhapsody because that was picked up on the side of Nullstone. Obviously, they first picked the Moira. Moira, Ophelia, it could be a little bit weak in terms of the laning phase. Could maybe get aggressive on, and you don't need to do it, that kind of thing. Parasite, a good hero against Dr. Pulsar, so they can just play a different strategy and go from there. They don't necessarily need to play with the Ophelia. They can play a lot of different strategies and still have a very strong time doing it. So
yeah. Now, what that ultimately means, getting the number 1 and number 2 seeds, we already know the matchups here. The number 1 seed, they'd be playing Shrek is Love, the number 2 seed playing Fresh. So, again, keeping that in mind here. If you win this, you're going to be playing Shrek is Love. Now, not to say that, that's... I mean, both those, again, going to be tough matchups no matter what, as you would expect in the next round. Again, Shrek, especially with the way that they're playing recently, it seemed like they're a pretty scary team here. So, but, again, should be a fun bracket stages. All right, enough about that, though. Again, keeping focus here on this match. Pebbles, Kraken, and Prisoner so far. A lot of mid-presence being banned out by either side. At this point here, so we talked about the Parasite pickup, though. Again, Nullstone, they could still use a jungler themselves, and doesn't seem like Sync so far addressing that yet.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're ready to sort of be in the laning phase, though. Parasite a very good aggressive jungler because, you can get aggressive from the get-go. And anything that Nullstone do decide to do in terms of running a jungler, normally it's kind of passive. Like, we think about junglers like, obviously, the Lord South Forest, for example, sometimes even like the Solstice. And that can get shut down quite easily by the Parasite. So, with that pickup, they're not too bothered about whatever they face. So.
That is kind of funny, actually. Yeah, they accidentally had duplicate heroes turned on in this public game lobby. So, now what that does, it leaves every hero on the board no matter if they're picked or banned. So it may throw you off guard a little bit. So that's what they're kind of talking about there in the chat. Oh boy, yeah, I could see how that could be confusing, but all right, I think we're good to go though. Yeah, nothing was duplicated there.
Just don't pick the same heroes, guys. Come on.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something? You see, like, all right, we'll take Parasite ourselves. Why not? Wait a
Oh,
second.
Parasite's still on the board. Good
Yeah.
pick it.
That would have been good. Anywho, but yeah. So again, as far as Nullstone's concerned, again, no jungle options really banned out there either from Insania, other than Cthulhu Font, but still plenty left open. So we'll see what you got. Again, being the drafter of the team as well.
Yeah,
Decides to go
Cthulhu ban makes a lot of sense because the one hero that Parasite can't really go aggressive against is the Cthulhu. I mean, in fact, Cthulhu can go aggressive on the Parasite.
Yeah.
Because Parasite's creep just gets instantly eaten, and when that happens, you can't man up 1v1 against the Cthulhu because he's got that sort of aura against him, so makes sense.
Deadwood pickup coming out for Nullstone. They got their middle presence there with Deadwood, so. And now back over to Sync Esports. Again, you look at what they have so far. We expect that's going to be a support Moira here, of course. So that one on top of Suicide already. So short lane.
I need some physical presence. Yeah, they need some physical presence.
Gladiator.
Something that Mickey has run before, actually,
Yeah.
but I don't think it pairs so well with the Moira. I think the last time he paired it, it was a dual mid.
Are you kidding me, man?
Glacius.
Get an Arcane Vortex, it sets up a Gladiator ultimate, and it gives him time?
Yeah,
I
but
think
in
it
the
actually has
laning
potential.
phase, it's in the laning phase. I think is the biggest thing, and like obviously Gladiator has a lot of mana issues. If they didn't have their support, you could do something like Glacius, Gladiator. It's something that actually Tree used to do quite a lot in scrims, but they haven't actually played it in competitive once yet. But something they always used to pick up. But there's the physical presence though.
Yeah.
Might have been picked up. Very useful against Swiftblade and Doctor because it goes through Magic Community. Obviously, it's AoE as well, not targeted. So even if Doctor picks up a Nullstone, there's a lot of counters to Null. Almost every single one of the heroes from Sync is sort of counters the Doctor Pulsar here. So to an extent, obviously.
I know, and kind of this is something we're not really to see, but it's just kind of funny. I was thinking about like speaking of the Gladiator Moira synergy. I wonder if Gladiator uses his ultimate and thing starts going and it gets caught in the Arcane Vortex. Will it actually get soaked in as well, and then all of a sudden pop out with the explosion after they all come out? I mean, I think that would actually be pretty OP if that's the case, but something tells me it doesn't actually go into the Arcane Vortex. It happens anyway, so yeah. Anyway, so still possible there. Wait, what are we talking about here? Oh, lol. they're trolling basically.
Yeah.
Tempest is that final pick coming out for Nullstone Gaming here.
I thought you pick Tempest into a Parasite. Not only is it obviously a counter to obviously the ulti, it's just very, very, very passive, honestly, and I think it can easily get kind of counter in that respect. I think we're going to see Suicide Behemoth, by the way, something that the Thai teams have been picking up a lot, actually. And when Keizu and Slapped were doing some of their casts for the Behemoth, it worked very, very well. Had a lot of early game rotations, and I guess getting some practice in before Thailand.
Yeah.
Going to be cool to see here. You can actually block the creep wave twice with the Fisher, and then you get perfect lane control, so should be cool.
Yeah. All right, here we go. We got these two teams going at it here. Sync Esports versus Nullstone Gaming, game number 1 of a best of 1. Thus being the only game, of course. That Behemoth final pick. Yeah, Keizu going to be playing it. That's interesting.
It's going to be cool to see. It's something that I don't think we've ever seen in the international teams or the NAE teams run. But it's something really, really popular in Asia. They love it. And it works quite well. It's normally quite useful 1v2. 1v1, it doesn't have the greatest presence, honestly. The reason being is because Behemoth 1v1 is not a great solo laner. However, 1v2 is great because you get automatic lane control when you spam out the Fisher. You use Fisher twice, and then it sort of blocks the creep wave and obviously allows the creep wave to be in your favour. Kind of similar to like a Kinesis kind of thing. Whereas Kinesis actually is a good 1v1 laner. But yeah, it's going to be quite interesting to sort of see here. One thing's for certain, though, is that Sync's lineup is very, very aggressive. They've got like 3, if not 4, very aggressive heroes. And Nullstone, they're a very passive and kind of greedy team. As long as if they can have good lanes and they can get some good farm on, then yeah, they'd be in a very good position to take this game. But I don't think they're going to have any kind of room to breathe, honestly, because I think Sync's going to be aggressive from the start of the game. And yeah, that's maybe one weakness of that draft, perhaps. Like they picked up Tempest. It's just very, very greedy, very, very passive, and I think he's going to get punished here, most likely. have to wait and see, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Looks like maybe just a bathroom break here for resuming on. And again, what is our final game for the day, guys? So, but yeah, so you mentioned the behemoth in case it's like the idea that they block the creep wave.
yep.
With the fissure stun and.
Yep. And because of that, obviously, the enemy creep wave has more time to keep on running.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't meet your own creep wave. And because of that, they run further up your lane, and therefore you get better creep positioning. And because of that, this enemy support has an issue of really boxing you out, because obviously you're always going to be in creep experience range if you have perfect creep equilibrium. But obviously, I think in this game he's going to be 1v1, so I mean it's going to be okay because it's he's going to stop him any rotations from Tempest. But like I said before, Behemoth Suicide normally works better 1v2 than 1v1 because Behemoth just simply isn't a great 1v1 laner. But it's going to be interesting to sort of see though. It's going to be useful in the draft though because like I said, it's a very very aggressive makeup here, and can punish quite a lot with any kind of rotations he decides to make, whether it be mid or even top, for example. So cool to see.
I'm just still waiting for the Behemoth to build as an Assassin Shroud and Rift Shards.
It's not possible, man.
Dominate. Oh, it's possible.
Doesn't do enough damage, I'm sorry.
I've done it in mid-wars many times. It's possible.
It's not enough, I'm sorry. If he gets a buff, like, double the in range damage, then maybe, but...
Yeah.
Doesn't do enough, unfortunately. It would be so sick to see, though. I would like to see it, personally, but... Unfortunately, it's not good enough.
All right.
It needs a buff.
It does. It does need a buff. Here we go. Game, the final game once again coming at you. So yeah, again, intrigued by this Casey Behemoth, see how it performs and what it does here. He gets boots off the bat, and I assume that he's just going to sit with those because yeah, it's taken him a while to actually leave the base here. So not really the best investment if you're just planning to sell it shortly after, like we've seen many times. Again, Boxy comes to mind. So yeah, we're going to be sitting on them here. Yeah.
Maybe they assume Resha's going to be sitting down bottom. If Repsy actually lanes bottom, this will be really good. This Behemoth Suicide pick will pay off a lot of dividends, but if not, then I don't think it's going to do too much. In theory, Nullstone should run a dual mid with like Doctor, or even it should run a dual mid. Sorry, with Deadwood and send Suicide Swiftblade. But seeing as Beaver Bang is on the Swiftblade, then that's not going to be the case. It's going to be a Suicide Deadwood. And he's got boots himself, so yeah, I think actually Nullstone could have laned this a lot better, just because seeing what Sync are going to lane. Because if you send Doctor down bottom, you beat the Behemoth bottom without having the need to have Rhapsody bottom. Not only that, but you have a presence at dual mid, so you get even more farm on the Deadwood, for example, and Swiftblade can handle his own easily against Malakan and Moira, at least pre-level 6. So yeah, it's a little bit annoying because Resha looks like he's actually going to be sitting down bottom, and he's not going to do too much, honestly, because here he comes at Keys, he's going to block the creep wave here, and Resha in this game is not going to have an impact, really. He's going to be pulling lanes, that's all he's going to do, he's not going to be boxing out the Behemoth, but, it's not... He should be blocking. Oh, apparently, from what I've heard, actually, remember when Sync said this, actually, apparently in the international client you can't block creep waves because it's banned in competitive mode. But in... Oh, no, JK.
What?
Oh, JK. He's done it wrong, though.
Kinda.
He's done it wrong. Like,
Yeah.
you meant to do it from the start of the creep wave. You meant to do it back in base, and he sort of failed it here, but, yeah. So this is actually a pretty big fail.
No,
He's not very... It seems that he's not very well versed though, because if you do it from base, you can block them out completely. You see the tier 3 tower. If you like do a whole fissure, it blocks the whole entire thing and delays them for about like 30 seconds. So yeah, that's in this case actually, Rhapsody is going to have a big impact in the game.
See, I wonder. I would have to get confirmation on that because I wonder if the rule could be that you're not allowed to do it at the base, but you're allowed to do it like later on. As we saw right there. So if that's the rule, then it makes a little more sense as to why you may have done it that way. So, yeah, I need to get confirmation on that, though, from the admin on that. Cause
in Asia, though, or in Thailand, there's no rule about it, so they just block it from base. Yeah. From what I've seen. That's from what I've seen, so,
nice.
I mean...
Nice.
In the World Finals, is something you can do it? I don't know. We'd have to get confirmation.
Yeah, that's something we'll definitely have to figure out, because clearly Sync Esports interested in the idea of doing it, so... But, yeah, we'll figure that out eventually. But it's safe to say, maybe not the most powerful right there. And instead he's going to roam elsewhere. And he's looking to set something up middle lane, actually. Okay, never mind. He just kind of runs on up.
Because of this, though, like, Resha actually is going to have an impact in the bottom lane. Because now Behemoth is getting boxed out. That's why he's rotated mid. if he had creep equilibrium, like where by his own tier 1 tower, then Resha wouldn't be doing anything, and he'd be getting a lot of golden experience because he has the proper creep equilibrium. But now the creep equilibrium is right next to Legion's tier 1 tower. He's busy off stacking ancients and rotating mid because he can't do anything without dying down bottom. So, yeah.
Deadwood was feeling a little pressure at the top lane, but he's got the boots himself as well as that clear-cutting ability and able to make it through. Parasite got the top rune. Not sure what it was. Okay, it looks like it just was refreshment, yeah. See the illusions picked up by Behemoth at the bottom lane, able to get there before anyone else does. So, yeah, again, keeping an eye on KZU and how active he continues to be. Obviously, got the mana potions early on and giving a potential to set up kills elsewhere with that Fissure Stone of his. But Swiftblade, Beaver Banger, once again on the Swiftblade here in that carry role, is just going to get that free farm. And they're going to try to make use of that. Now, again, a little bit different of the lineup in the sense of where they had the Madman last time, where a lot more physical presence follow for the carry late game, where it's Dr. Pulsar, more the magic, more for the ganker. And actually, speaking of Doctor, though, he pulls in Bubbles. He wants a counter kill. He may still get it. No, he goes down. Bloodlust in favor of Mickey. And Bubbles still in a tough spot. Moira's going to try to take over the tower with the illusion, and they will help keep Mickey alive. So, ultimately, ended up being 4 heroes coming together here in the middle lane to help get that kill, but they get the Bloodlust.
Yeah. Just nice rotation from KZ, that Fissure block set all that up, actually. And even though he's not having a pressure or not doing anything down bottom, he can still have an impact down middle. And this just goes back to the aggressive lineup here from Sync. Nullstone, like, what can they really do? The only thing that they can rotate over is the Rhapsody, because they've got a greedy jungler in Tempest. He can't really rotate over. Swiftblade's busy farming bottom, and obviously Deadwood can't rotate it over even if he wanted to, because he doesn't offer anything at level 3. So yeah, I think they're just taking advantage of this greedy lineup here from Nullstone.
Yeah, and yeah, you see again, Oscar is having a lot of trouble getting any kind of farm, any kind of experience. Moira great at boxing out. Not only with the Ephemeral Forge, but I mean in just general, 550 attack range, has the Shards of Harkon, a stun, of course. In fact, Behemoth, he runs into Deadwood right here. Parasite assisting with that leech. The Invis Rune is here trying to get it, but no, Parasite gets it first. And there's the Shards of Harkon applied to Behemoth. The stun comes out as a result. Just going to hero block. Now look at that. They set up a wall. Oh, that was beautiful. Parasite and Behemoth is blocking him out completely and no chance for him to get away. So, well played. They catch Oscar, and again, it's been a difficult time for him at that top lane. And now Behemoth even taking over the middle lane a little bit while Bubbles was gathering the rune at the bottom. But
KZ's playing this really well, actually. Just being active all around the map, and it's something that the Thai teams do on Behemoth as well. Like, they're always so aggressive. They're looking for kills from minute 1, Breaky, and they just never allow the enemy team to sort of farm. They're always looking for kills, and clearly KZ's sort of done a little bit of research and playing it very well here as well. He's picked up Veiled Rot as well, so he's just looking to get aggressive, and just very, very nice play.
yeah. So, Inklin is actually pointing out that in the rules, it has been in the rules for a while. That's actually middle lane. We do have initiation, though. Dr. Pulsar, the Countfield come out initially. In comes the Fissure Stone. Shards of Harkon on the back row with the Ephemeral Forge from Moira, and down falls Dr. Pulsar. Again, it's just so much jump potential between Behemoth and Moira, and then they obviously throw Bubbles on top of that with a Countfield coming at you. It's just not much Doctor could have done right there. He's basically hugging his tower, and he still ends up falling. So, again, the very active and aggressive play here, Upsync Esports, really working to their benefit. I mean, the one downside of this is that, again, they are giving up free farm to a Swiftblade, and we'll see how much impact that ultimately is able to have, but it can be scary for them. But, yeah, again, real quickly, again, she linked the rules in, and so it has been there for Haunter as well. Apparently, so fissure blocking itself is not allowed. I'm trying to find the specific. Fissure blocking creep waves from exiting the base is deemed illegal. Pulling ancients into the creep lane creeps using Devour Behemoth is deemed illegal. So that's another thing to keep in mind, actually. You can't take advantage of that as well.
Yeah. Well, obviously, in Thailand, they don't abide by those rules, so because they're badasses.
I guess
like,
so.
yeah, whatever.
I would be interested to hear how that's going to be addressed throughout the World Finals. That's a good point. I'm glad we're seeing that here to kind of get us going in, because that could have been bad. Weren't sure going in, but anyway, so just to give you an idea of how that stands. But yeah, so later on, you're allowed to. It's just not as effective as before.
Yeah, no, that's why he did, obviously, and yeah, working out well here.
Yeah. All right, but anyways, Dr. Pulsar, again, he's now got the 2 deaths here in the middle lane. Fuzzy Sloth not a comfortable game for him. So, I mean, how much does Sync need to be worried about just giving up free farm to the Swiftblade early on?
I think obviously they have to keep it in check, but I mean, they've got a long time before they need to be worried, honestly. Because I mean, Swiftblade with like 450 GPM is scary, but like it's only 450 GPM 7 minutes into the game, like kind of thing. And like if you look at his actual like net worth right now, it's not a lot. Like he's got Ghost Marchers and building towards a business girl. They can address it, but they don't need to address it right now because they've got such an aggressive lineup. Like they can kill him whenever they want, really, or whenever they want to commit resources. And at the moment, they're busy just sort of trying to get as much from the lanes. And then they're in no rush. When it gets into the 20-minute mark and they're only 100 gold ahead, then that's when they should be worried. But they've still got like 15 minutes of play before they should be worried, honestly.
Yeah.
Because Nullstone need a lot of core farm. Like they need like Astrolabe, Portal Key on Tempest, maybe even a Stronger Ned, for example, Stronger Ned on Doctor, Stronger Ned even Swiftblade, for example, and they're so far away from that, and so there's a lot more room for Sync to make plays and look to get aggressive. So they're happy now. Just at the top end. Oh, the Lex on Parasite. I'm loving this, man. I talked about it before, like how Lex actually from Parasite, when you use Face Hug, it actually not only does it transfer the debuff away from yourself, you can actually double Lex someone, and so they actually get the double debuff, not from the initial from yourself, but also from the one you give to them as well. So it's actually like a double Lex effect kind of thing. It synergizes very, very nicely. Actually, what you got was the first person I see do it, actually, and he's a firm believer in it, and it works very, very well. I'm liking it here, definitely.
And Slapped apparently, picking up on it as well. And that's that. Especially when, what you got is, obviously, if he's doing it, you take that into consideration. But, Slapped also going to be doing it, then I think it's safe to say that's something that more and more people should think about here, that, there actually is something to it. So, and it's for good reason. You're making the strong points right there. And, again, Lexington itself did get buffed in that big balance patch, but it's never really been an attractive item for the most part. But, maybe this is where it starts gaining a little bit of steam in cases like this. Again, we've already seen the potential of it, especially with bursty heroes. And Parasite definitely is that. Now, again, Quincy kind of pointing out, too, it's kind of interesting. Imbo Boy on Reason Gaming recently playing Malakin for the first time, and it happens to be Flensmeister's first game with Malakin as well. So, Malakin, a hero that maybe is getting more steam. Pro Busk has been known to play him a lot.
Yep.
Maybe that's one of those cases of bringing him on.
Nox as well, like we saw him play it today. So, it's a strong hero, and I think the ability to farm Ancients very, very early on is a very important aspect of the hero. Because obviously it's getting to the point in the meta now where you have to be incredibly efficient in terms of your farm, wherever you farm. Actually, bottom lane, case does get picked up, actually. It's a nice kill from Nullstone. But it's getting to a point where it's all about like an economic game. And you want to be farming as much of the map as possible. And when you have heroes that can farm Ancients very early on, similar to like a Malakin, then he's a very, very valuable pick because of that. Expect to sort of see him take out triple stack Ancients very shortly with his possession ultimate.
Yeah.
So.
Bubbles, he's got a haste turn. He's looking for some kills, man. He's looking for an opportunity. He's got Kelfoot, everything ready to go. Now, Tempest is coming over. Currently has a Veiled Rod, actually, active and trying to go through his own jungle, be safe with it. When a Tempest is using a Veiled Rod, I assume that, okay, no, he is looking for an opportunity here. Onto Bubbles. But again, Bubbles, the haste rune has been popped. Here comes Parasite, actually. They're going to catch Tempest right here. Kelphil most likely going to be used. Nope, not even necessary. Facehawk doing the work right there. Now Parasite in a little bit of trouble. He did not Lex just yet, though, so we'll see if that comes into play right here. They could still go for something as Bubbles lands at Kelphil. They want more. Parasite coming back in. There's a Lex applied to Dr. Repulsor, and a couple more auto attacks to finish him off. A double tap for Mickey, and it's not over just yet. Mickey wants more. And what Mickey wants, he sometimes gets. Apparently not this time, though, as they're going to fall back from there. But clearly the aggressive pressure coming out big time between Parasite and Bubbles.
Definitely. And I mean, what can Nullstone do? They're so far away, their core items, before they can really take team fights or even take these early engagements or early skirmishes. And I think they're just really playing to the strength of their lineup. They've got the Behemoth, they've got the Parasite, they've got the Bubbles, all these early game aggressive heroes. And Nullstone, their heroes peak around like the 30-minute mark after they've got a decent amount of core items. And it's sort of they're getting punished a little bit at the moment. Bottom lane though.
Yeah, bottom lane, Fidget not blocking him, but it does stun him initially. Now Bubbles all of a sudden, Bubbles got there a little too quickly. He is going to end up falling, actually. Will get the kill on a Swiftblade in the end, at least. But yeah, Mickey went in there a little too aggressive next to a spinning Swiftblade. Never usually a good thing. ended up falling as a result of that. So, but hey, they got Swiftblade. That's what's really important. Malikan, of course, he still continues to farm in the meantime. He got the Blood Chalice early on, now the Whispering Helm. And then you do have Bubbles. Even with that death, he's still doing just fine, over 400 gold per minute himself. So locking down the one hero that's doing extra well here on Nullstone Gaming. If it means sacrificing something, not the biggest deal in the world for them right here. So yeah, Behemoth will also continue to now farm out the bottom lane, and Portal Key is on its way. I mean, 1,400 gold saved up just about here. It's actually going to be happening here in the near future. The 3 assists and the 1 kill he has definitely helped with that.
Yeah. He's just been really aggressive and really active, actually. It's kind of interesting to see as well. Like, KZ normally is one of those suicide players that's more of a... He feels the space. Like, normally he's not a space creator kind of suicide. Just more of a kind of semi-carry or a second carry in that respect. But playing as definitely a space creator here. And doing very well with it, actually. Just clearly showing that he knows any kind of hero. Is that Portal Kill Moira?
No. Yeah.
Oh my god. She's got a lot of farm. 230 GPM, actually. I think she just picked one up, actually.
I can't see. It's not telling me whose it is, but it looks like it is going her direction. You're right.
Wow. And this is because of the Malikan, though. Like, he rotated into the jungle. Well, actually, talk Queso. That was done in the end. But, yeah, Malikan rotated over to the Ancients as well. I didn't mention that. He rotated over to the Ancients, and Moira took the lane as well. And it's all about the efficiency breaking I was talking about. Like, you want to be farming the neutrals because, you know, that's just free gold that you need to be taking. The lane sort of can only give you so much gold. And if you're farming the jungle and the other, the Ancients as well, gives you a very efficient look. I mean, look at the golden experience. Like, it's 13 minutes into the game, and Zinc are 4.5k ahead on both golden experience, and they're only 3 kills ahead. Like, that's not kill gold or kill experience. That's just, you know, better farm. And because they've been farming the jungle and the Ancients, whereas Null just simply haven't been. And just goes back to very efficient use of the resources right now.
Now, I mean, I am kind of curious about this, though, because, again, I mean, that's obviously a lot of gold he's invested as a main support here, not even 15 minutes into this goal to a Portal King. I mean, I'm looking at the map right now. There really isn't the most vision on the map. There is a Water Site bottom down here. It looks like Keizu, even, the one that bought and placed it. So I guess what I'm getting at is, you know, how important was him to get this Portal Key at the cost of, you know, a couple of wards maybe at least, you know, a little extra vision here and there.
I personally like it though because it gives them the ability to actually they have counterplay now for the Deadwood, the Swiftblade, and the Tempest because of the Arcane Vortex. Like without Portal Key, you would not have like that good of a positioning to actually stop all of those ultis. Whereas like if Deadwood jumps in, you know, and gets set up to sort of ulti someone, you Arcane Vortex them, and you take that initiation factor outside of Nullstone, for example. Same goes for Swiftblade. If the ulti is you just Arcane Vortex and you sort of nullify that ultimate. Obviously, same goes for Tempest as well. And the Portal Key, it just gives you that sort of positioning that you just simply wouldn't if you didn't have it, and gives you ability to sort of make a lot of defensive plays. And I do like it, honestly.
Yeah. Ooh. So. Resher's found and Resher's dead. That'll happen with this team here that Sync has, especially with that Lex Talionis Parasite. It, by the way, has a level 3 of it now. Takes over the Vagabond leader. Behemoth, still no Portal Key just yet for him, but it's coming up quickly here. Bubbles does have his with that said. And actually goes to the... by a TP over there from the side chip as well. But they're going to be pushing in this bottom tower now, is what it looks like. Malikan is even nearby. He's got the Sanitarius and the Whispering Helmets we're talking about. Of course, that farm of 481 gold per minute makes sense. Again, you look at Beaver Banger, 424 here, and still farming very well himself. The Abyssal Skull, the Firebrand, Ghost Marchers. Also the Mystic Vestments on top of that, and understandably so. The amount of magic damage this team's working with here on the Hellborn side, especially hell, even Malikan assists with that, the Sword Throw. Bottom tower, Malikan will just port to the top, though. I look to farm up here, but that's actually just for him. Now, again, it's going to come down to can Sync react in time. They're usually pretty good at that. So don't feel too confident here if you're Nullstone. They got 3 players up here right now. I know they want to, but here we go. Let's see if they can make it happen. Malikan, he gets pulled in. He has an ulti for him. He pops it right there. The Fear Effect does go through the spin. He gets away. No, he could not throw in time. But here comes that supporting cast. Bubbles dies right off the bat. The Tempest ultimately locked him down. So maybe not working out for Sync Esports as I may have expected. And Nullstone Gaming, a couple of big kills, and they want more here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just nice. Oh, Tempest ultimate. It's cool. All the people wants TPing. And Moira didn't have a TP either, so she couldn't TP over. So if essentially it was a 5v4, and Nullstone definitely did actually capitalize on that. So just nice play.
Yeah, that Tempest Ultimate obviously very powerful against people who are TPing in, and maybe that's the reason why it was dangerous to TP in, and what you got was on top of that. Making sure to at least catch bubbles in that case. Shockwave from Behemoth. Here we go. In comes the Arcane Vortex. No, not just yet, actually. There's the Arcane Vortex. Uses Shards of Harkon initially. Not really catching much. It will catch Dr. Pulsar in the long run, but Moira herself is going to go down. Honestly, wasn't the best placement or the best timing of it, and now Parasite sitting on the outskirts. He's trying to get away. Swiftblade also trying to run. He will survive. Deadwood should be the same as, yes, he gets on out of there. So, I mean, the Shockwave was big, but I still think Nullstone Gaming, they come out with something pretty big there in the big picture.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as long as they're trading at this stage of the game, it's actually very beneficial for them because they've got the better scaling team. Although Malakun is a hard carry, I mean, they've got the Deadwood, the Doctor, and the Tempest that all scale very, very well and a lot better than like the Bubbles and the Parasite, for example. So as long as they're trading now, it's actually pretty decent for Nullstone, honestly. There's a Codex picked up actually from Parasite, and I do like this decision though because it's. Like, the thing with this Lex Telionis and the Codex is that it allows you to get very active and sets up a lot of kills because of the burst. And they're not, Sync aren't looking to take team fights, they're looking for kills, they're looking for aggression kind of thing. And this is what the Lex and the Codex sort of combo does for you. It offers a lot more than what a Puzzle Box could do in terms of raw pickoff. So, yeah, I really like the pickup here. And the amount of burst damage you have now with that combo is just insane.
Yeah.
There's so much damage because obviously you get the double Lex effect when you use the face hug on the same target.
We're going to see it right here. Look at that. Oh, the Mana Sunder prevents it from spinning initially. However, oh my god, he's going to live. Wow. The fact that he lived right there is huge, huge, huge. So it makes it now Ephemeral Forge from Moira. Okay, I thought she was trying to maybe still get a kill right there. She had a portal key, but she chose not to dive. And, yeah, there was just too much heal on a Swiftblade at that time. So
you see that damage, though. Like,
yeah.
And it's only level 1 Codex as well. So you just see the strength of it. And, yeah, it's very, very strong.
That was definitely pretty huge. Tempest in the meantime. Again, the Mana Center comes out. But actually, Bubble's going to be caught. He got a little too antsy trying to follow up right there. And Tempest survives. And not only that, but they get the counter kill with Dr. Repulsor leading the way, getting there in time. So Nullstone Gaming, things are really coming together nicely all of a sudden. And Sync Esports getting both caught out a couple of times here and there, but also on top of that, again, the top fight really deemed a lot in this game right here. That went in favor of Nullstone Gaming in the big picture, so they're going to push the middle lane. I don't think they're going to be stopped, actually.
It's actually ridiculous. I just realized, but Flint's is 0, 1, and 0, yet he still has 500 GPM.
Yeah.
My goodness, that's just ridiculous. Like, that's insane amount of GPM he's got for that kind of stats. And it's because he's been effectively killing these angels every single time. He's been stacking it by himself, obviously, with the Whispering Helm, and he's been farming it day in, day out, and it's just very, very efficient use of it. They stack it, they kill it the same minute. So, yeah, just like I said, it's very efficient use of the map. But Nullstone are in a good position, though, like I said. It's getting to the point where they're getting their core items. They're getting the Astrolabe that they've got, they're getting towards maybe the Hellflower from Doctor, getting towards, the Dawnbringer from Swiftblade, and once they get those items, they're going to be really in a good position to take fights. Obviously, the Deadwood portal key as well, very close, and I don't know if they've got enough out of their aggression in terms of their draft to really warrant this draft, honestly. I don't think they've got enough kills, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
They are looking to get aggressive here as well.
They're trying. I mean, they've been sitting around here with that Villain Rod. They're going to hide in the trees now. Now it's just Bubbles and Behemoth. Moira, I don't know if she's nearby. Oh, no, Parasite's here as well in the Hell Cannon. So he's going to bait out with the... Well, there's two of them, so it's probably pretty obvious that those are illusions. Still more so scouting with them. Not going to find anything. Meanwhile, the top tower just goes down to creeps right there in favor of Nullstone Gaming. And actually, that was an illusion, so never mind. Definitely going to see plenty of those with Moira especially. So gets a little bit of a bait out there. It doesn't look like anything was used big time, though. Yeah, Deadwood, I mean, he's been very quiet this game for the most part. An understandably tough start, but now he has 2,400 gold. I assume he's going to fall back to base and buy a portal key here. And, of course, that'll be big that at least they have that for the time being.
Yeah. And they're getting their core items as well. One thing's for certain as well, that everyone needs to be picking up investments, though, in this game. Like, they're going against so much magic damage right now, and obviously they can't afford Shrunken Heads because Sync are not going to give them time to farm. So they have to make kind of the alternative pickup, and that's the investments. And yet they got one on Swiftblade, but everyone needs one right now. I'm turning into Swindle, but everyone needs investments because it's the amount of magic damage they've got. It's really, really important that they have that.
What is being delivered? Yep, a straight-up Shrunken Head to good old Malakin.
Yeah, he's farmed out. Look at that. 540 GPM and he's 0, 1, and 0. That's just an insane amount of efficiency in terms of just raw farm. It's actually crazy.
He just hit 200 creep kills so far, only 21.5 minutes in. Pretty damn good indeed.
That's insane.
Just did, I think it was a triple stack. Yeah, it looks like a triple stack Ancients right there.
Yeah, he's been
here.
farming them so much, man. Really, really efficient use of the Ancients farm.
Malikan's probably one of the strongest heroes throughout the game. I mean, early game into late game. Obviously, plenty of heroes can do it late game pretty easily, but in the early game, he's probably one of the strongest. I mean,
I think I think the biggest reason why we saw him pick up in this draft, though, is because of his use of farming the Ancients. Like, he farmed them at like level 8 onwards, like triple stacks every single time. Obviously, gives them someone who can farm the Ancients to get extra, efficiency in terms of creep farm, but gives the lane over to Moira as well, which allowed her to pick up a portal key. So, yeah, just a really efficient play here from Flins.
Definitely has been. It is kind of interesting, too. Speaking of Flensmeister again, we give him a little bit of slack here and there sometimes, being the carry player, but not necessarily always carrying for the team, and even playing roles such as bubbles and whatnot. But obviously this time around, playing the Malakin, definitely more of your really hard carry hero, and Sync Esports falling back on that for sure. So going to really show that he still has, of course, can be that carry if need be for him and his team in Sync Esports here. Well, how much levels that Codex? Can't see just yet. Fortunately, Parasite still in a creep currently, so. But I assume it's at least, I want to say at least level 2, if not even higher.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Oh, Malakin actually might be in trouble, though. Can he get the strong up? There's that reaction from Moira. Now, not a whole lot was used just yet, to be fair. Dr. Pulsar, he's going to be able to get away, at least for now. Ulti? Yeah, no chance. Doctor will fall in the end.
It's like with with the Arcane Vortex, it's kind of like almost an AoE Storm Spirit. It's like a reset button. Like, gives him the ability to sort of pop the strong on it if he needs to, stops any aggression, and that's why you prioritize a portal key on Moira, because of that reason alone. And yeah, it's good to see that he's got one so early as well.
Yeah. He clearly paid off right there, and there's a Blood Chalice now that he just purchased, actually, to assist with the more of the mana issues. But Malakin will, again, lead the way, pushing that top tower in now. 572 gold per minute, and just keeps on going up here at this point. So Swiftblade using his farm has the Frostburn. Mighty Blade picked up to follow. Think it's going to be that Shrunken Head here. Got a lot of magic presence on the Hellborn side and lockdown and whatnot. So now, worth noting too, though, Malakin's ultimate, we've already seen it, in fact, when he's spinning, it does go through. It is superior magic, the Fear Effect. So Shrunken Head won't necessarily stop that, but still good. Again, I assume that's going to be a Shrunken. It could be Brutalizer, but
I still think like picking up Shrunken is really useful, like because he's playing against like Parasite, Bubbles, Behemoth, even Moira to an extent. It's just so much magic damage. But obviously you got to think about Malakin doing a lot of. I mean, he's doing a lot of physical presence, but I still think you pick up that Shrunken Head and you just focus down the Malakin, because you pick up Shrunken Head and then you kill the Malakin, and then it's like, what does Sync have to offer after Malakin's dead? Not much really, but obviously Malakin's got his own Shrunken Head, so it's going to be obviously very hard to kill him, but still.
Oh, Swiftblade's out of mana curl. He's almost standing there. Okay, I guess he was stunned. That makes sense. Protectability, no! Just out of range. Moira, again, showing us why he got that portal key and prioritized it. Spawn the illusion, use the portal key on the illusion to then go in and stun Swiftblade, Mana Sunder on top of that, and give a good kill chance and obviously the follow-through for Sync Esports. And now with him dead especially, they're going to go right to Kongor. And this should be a pretty easy Kongor kill for Sync Esports at this point.
Yeah, definitely, and obviously that's just the catch potential when you have Portal Key on Moira as well. Like, she has an insane amount of catch with her E, and then you put a Portal Key on top of that as well. She just feels like she has a presence halfway across the map. It's almost like a global presence, practically. So, yeah, just good kill on Swiftblade. Now they're going to secure Kongor as well.
Yeah, still only has level 1 of it as well, keeping that in mind. Again, with the way he's leveling, that should get there pretty quickly as far as the Ephemeral Forge is concerned. And
yeah, I like it.
It's
the right build. It's the right build to make. So like I said, I've talked about it before, but the E doesn't scout too well, I don't think. Like, it increases the duration and reduces the cooldown a little bit and the range, but I mean, it's kind of a 1.1. The Q and the double you should be maxed, particularly if you're playing against Dr. Pulsar that does not have a Null Stone. So.
Oh boy. Well, that's pretty obvious as a ward of sight there now. That's the good thing, but the bad thing is it did cost Dr. Pulsar his life. Doing those Ancients, pretty low on life as a result of that, and Parasite just goes in and quick Codex to take him out. So, which is a level 2 Codex now, by the way. By the way, That's one of the bigger changes as a spectator, especially. Not only do we see the charges on the shrunken head, but we can see it's on all the items now. I'm noticing on Puzzle Box, on Codex, you can actually just take a quick glance at it, and it tells you what level it is. So thank God for that. Great thing adding that. Rhapsody, she finds herself between a rock and a hard place, a.k.a. Parasite and Bubbles. And she goes down once again. Behemoth Shockwave in the middle lane, locking down Swiftblade, buying time for the teammates, but it can't get there in time. And now here come the Swift Slashes. Now gets close enough to Moira to best her as well. And they will ultimately all survive. Leech comes out, Bubbles is still here. And now they're going to turn it on his Swiftblade. Heal comes out with the Ashblade, not in time though. And the Kelpville catches Tempest too. He still has his ultimate, but he wants to run here. They are not looking to fight, of course, and this is a big-time wide. Malikan cuts him off, and down goes Tempest, and the chase continues. Sync Esports, they are the finest team right now as far as teamwork goes, so not too big of a surprise to see it plenty in this game as well. And will they kill him? Yes, they will. Sortho to finish him off. It's just one after the other, and it's kind of steadily just increasing here for Sync Esports with this lead now.
Yeah, definitely, and it's just solid play. Like I said, like they just maximise every little misplay from Nullstone, and they just it's like, you know, like, they call it like min-maxing, obviously, and well, you know, Breaky, like, and it feels like they do that with their heroes. They know the exact limits of what they can get away with, and they do it. And Nullstone, unfortunately, they gave away perhaps a little bit too much in the early game because of their greedy lineup, and Snake just snowballed from there.
Yeah. Malikan, what is he at now? 600 plus gold per minute. I think he just bought something. Let's see what it was. He's got a similar rage on the way. Yeah, speaking of Dr. Repulsor, he gets away before Malikan really wants to chase Behemoth. No. He does have a haste stream, to be fair, but I don't think he's going to get there close enough, and doesn't want to go too far. Now he has a token, but you don't want to give that away, of course. Swiftblade now, it's their turn to chase, apparently. Again, same thing goes for them, though. Don't chase too far here if you're Nullstone gaming, and looks like that will be the end of that. Parasite is Lap's worst jungler at only 76% win percentage. Yeah, that says something right there. Slap gets another kill. Resher falls victim.
It's really, like he hasn't really been using the Lex, to be honest. Like he's picked it up, but doesn't really use it. I mean, there's a lot of like things to click, like Portal Key, Lex, Codex, Leech, and then Facehug, but he hasn't really been using it too much. If fair. Oh.
Middle lane, Shockwave on Swiftblade once again. They just keep catching him off guard. He goes down again. The jump is just, I mean, what more is there to say other than it's just unreal? Oh, the God Hole's real. I'll say that much. Will they actually get anything out of this in the end? Moira does come in. No, they won't. As pretty as it was, it wasn't to be. GG, well played. That is going to do it. Sync Esports will take the game. And again, what that tells us, Sync will be advancing on with the 3-0 record in the first place seed. They're going to be taking on Shrek is Love. Whereas Nullstone, because of the kill-to-death advantage, despite it being a 3-way tie, they will be moving on, and they'll face Fresh in the first round, and those will be our 4 teams in the bracket stage. So congratulations to Here on Sync, obviously, but in the end, both teams are moving on, and that's what matters. So,
yeah, definitely. Just obviously nice play from Sync. I'd like to sort of see the Behemoth Suicide as well. It works quite well, actually. Kazu was incredibly aggressive, actually, and really active, and as he should be. Clearly, he watched and researched the Thai offlaners because he was doing a lot of similar stuff that they did. I saw actually in the mid game as well. He was sort of waiting around a creep wave, waiting for someone to sort of kind of farm it so he could sort of jump in with his own portal key and things like that. But yeah, it was cool to see, and congratulations to them.
Yeah, definitely, again, feeling pretty good about that, I'm sure. And I also want to, shout out to Insanity on the Moira there, too. Again, going that portal key, I was a little skeptical myself as far as, how much of an impact that would be, but clearly showing once again that a hero that we just have not seen a whole lot of, there's things that are out there that you got to, as long as you test it out and see if it works, you theory craft it, you try it out, and clearly it worked out here beautifully. I mean, there were so many times where goes in, catches them with either the stun or the mana sunder or even the arcane vortex as we saw there at the end to set up for the rest of the team. So well played by him, well played as a team, of course, and congratulations on the victory there once again. So you see on your screen, guys, again, this is how things play out. Once again, the 3-way tie does result in favor of Nullstone Gaming. The kill-to-death ratio in their favor in their matchups against both Reason as well as Solaire Club. So they are moving on with Sync Esports. And then again, you got Shrek is Love as well as Fresh moving on from the other side. So we got our 4 teams. Not the 4 a lot of people would have expected, I'm sure, including myself, honestly. But we got.
Mhm.
That's for the better, I think, and that's going to be fun to see. But again, no doubt the big news though: Bad Monkey Gaming not advancing on, and they're going to have to rely on scrimmaging now, quite a bit here
Neither
for
of
these next
Reason.
couple of weeks. So
Neither of Reason, are they?
yeah, but Reason Gaming obviously another team that people may have expected.
Yeah, so definitely it's quite strange, quite crazy, but
That's how it played out, and props to the teams, especially Shrek and Slav, for showing people that they are a team to reckon with and advancing on here. So, again, guys, that bracket stage does kick off on Tuesday. I believe it's at 3 p.m. Eastern, which actually would be 2100 Central European time, I believe. But again, with the time change, it might be a little bit different. We'll have to wait. We'll get you updates on that via social media and whatnot as soon as possible. But it will be on Tuesday. It will be on Thursday as well. I believe we'll cover each of the first-round matches each of those days. Both of them will be best of threes. And then we go into the weekend following it up. Every single series will be covered here on Honcast.